There are bigger and deeper fears about the landslide in Rancho Palos Verdes. Testing of underground conditions has revealed the problem is much worse than first thought. We're joined live now by Mayor John Cruikshank for an update. Thank you so much for being on the show this morning. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Can you tell us the current situation in Rancho Palos Verdes? This sounds very serious.
Well, like you mentioned, we had been doing a number of test bores out in the landslide area, mostly at the beach area. And the reason we were doing that is we were about to install a series of hydro-auger or horizontal drilling system to relieve the water pressure. And while we've been doing that testing, we revealed that there's not only the first slide plane, which is about 150 feet below the surface of the ground, but another slide plane we found that was active and a little more active than that first one, about 350 feet deep. So because of the depth of that is going to make it very difficult for us to do that horizontal or hydro-auger system that we had originally planned. So we've got to continue to work toward a possible different solution to relieve that water pressures.
Yeah, this is a complicated situation, it sounds like, as well. So what is the city doing to help?
Well, so basically, like I mentioned, because that system of hydro-augers probably is not going to work the way we planned it, we're going to probably do vertical wells to relieve the pressure. We're also, because the rainy season is coming upon us quickly here in October, we can't just assume that we're going to have a drier season, as the last 2 years have been very rainy. So we're going to continue to work on surface drainage, continuing to fill the fissures, working with our neighbors to make sure that the water that comes down onto the hillside doesn't just soak right into the landslide. We need to do whatever we can to minimize water in that landslide area.
I feel like you must feel like you're working against the clock in some ways with the rainy season just around the corner.
Well, we're working around the clock all the time, and yeah, the pressure has been on our city staff and of course the people, the residents that live in that area. They've had tremendous amount of pressure on them, trying to harden their homes and trying to relieve themselves from the fact that they've lost their gas service in many of those homes, and we're always under the constant threat of losing electrical power.
Oh, well, so with all that, earlier this month, you sent a letter to Governor Newsom requesting a state of emergency. Can you talk about the need for help from state and federal governments? This can't just be a local issue.
Well, it's certainly not just a local issue. Yes, we sent a letter to the governor asking for another state of emergency to be declared. This time was for a sudden loss of energy, which the 135 homes that lost their gas service over a 3-day period, they had to switch over or try to switch over to alternate power methods. So the hope is that the governor does declare that additional state of emergency, and then he sends that request to the federal government. We would love to have the governor come to the landslide area to walk and see what's going on there, as the photos you're showing on the screen there. You have to actually walk the landslide area to understand the magnitude of this issue. It's the largest landslide in North America, and it's not just something that the city of Rancho Palos Verdes can solve at this point. We need help from our state and federal partners.
Can you talk about what you're hearing from residents? I have to imagine there's a mixture of emotions here.
Of course, the emotions are there's a lot of stress in that area. What we hear from our residents is that they're doing all they can to stay in their homes, to protect their families, but they're all at kind of the end of a lot of financial issues. Many of them have just moved out. Honestly, they just couldn't take it anymore being in that area, so they've moved out to other areas. Unfortunately, we don't want to see that. We want to see people in their homes, stay in their homes, but we also want to make sure that they're safe and that they allow the city to come in and look at their homes to make sure that they're not going to have some type of structural issues or access issues for emergency personnel if there were to be some type of other situation.
All right, Mayor, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.